Welcome back to another SCP reading, dear researchers. Today we're going to be reading SCP-316, Color Draining Lights. Now without further ado, item number SCP-316, Object Class, Safe. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-316 needs no special containment other than to prevent misuse by unauthorized personnel. Those operating SCP-316 should wear highly reflective full-body wear to prevent accidental exposure. Personnel privy to sensitive information should be kept out of visual range of SCP-316 due to its ability to induce a suggestive state. Description: SCP-316 is a Bronze-aged carbide lamp. The casing corresponds to no manufactured models. It appears to be homemade. The bulb is ordinary and can be replaced without impeding the function of SCP-316. Internal circuitry of SCP-316 is constructed of an unknown metal rather than copper. The casing has a battery compartment which takes 2D batteries. SCP-316 does not function unless 2D batteries are in the battery compartment with their positive ends facing each other. When switched on, SCP-316's bulb emits a nearly opaque beam of white light. Non-reflective objects and materials in contact with this light have their molecular structure rearranged into patterns which homogenize reflected photons, distributing their wavelengths equally throughout the visible spectrum. Effectively, over approximately 6 cumulative seconds of exposure, affected surfaces lose all color, retaining shades of gray and the same luminosity of the original surface. Reflective surfaces remain unaffected but appear to stop SCP-316's light rather than reflecting it. SCP-316 has a temporary but more drastic effect on living or sentient organisms. Its effect is spread evenly across an organism, even internally, as long as part of the organism is exposed to its light. Effects set in over approximately 27 cumulative seconds of exposure and gradually wear off over the next 24 hours. In addition to loss of color, most affected organisms experience the following: color blindness, lower body temperatures, low energy, slowed movements, monotonic slurred speech, inattentiveness, short-term memory loss, apathy, lack of aggression, negligible emotional response, passive cooperation with instructions, relative lack of desire to lie or deceive, limited capacity for foresight or creative thought. After recovering from the effects of SCP-316, most subjects report symptoms of nausea and depression for up to 1 week. Almost all subjects, once recovered, volunteer their displeasure at having been exposed to SCP-316, and may violently resist further exposure. Cross-experimentation between SCP-316 and uncooperative living SCPs for the purposes of pacification have been approved. Addendum 316-A. SCP-316 was recovered from the residence of a colorblind man, arrested for counterfeiting in Redacted, Texas. The man had reportedly attempted to pay for items at a convenience store with colorless bills. A Secret Service investigator noted the apparent quality and validity of the bills, as well as the ink's chemical equivalency with federal ink, and the Foundation investigated. The subject's house was mostly colorless, as it seemed he had been using SCP-316 to navigate at night. Neighbors reported the subject to have been withdrawn and depressingly dull. Subject was terminated and his property destroyed. Addendum 316-B. See Experiment Log 316. Experiment Log 316. Experiment Log of Dr. Redacted. Blast. Redacted. Hereon referred to as Dr. Blast. Testing SCP-316 on sentient SCPs. Date redacted date in the 2000s. Exposure to aggressive humanoid SCPs. Experiment 01. Exposure to SCP-213. Full effects of SCP-316 confirmed after 25 seconds of exposure. SCP-213 exhibits normal symptoms of exposure. Subject is still able to disintegrate matter when ordered to do so, but to a diminished extent, approximately 9% the normal speed. Testing concluded. After recovery, subject shows a willingness to comply with Foundation commands to avoid future exposure to SCP-316. Note: my heart nearly jumped out when he started melting matter, but scares aside, this test has proven very useful. We can use SCP-316 to ensure cooperation when these SCPs disagree with us, and then hold it over their heads like a whip when they think of doing it again. Dr. Blast. Experiment 02. Exposure to SCP-076-2. Able. Full effects of SCP-316 confirmed after 30 seconds of exposure. SCP-076-2 enters a catatonic stupor, still upright. At 49 seconds, subject proceeds to dispassionately kill all nearby personnel. Kill switch activated remotely by Dr. Blast. Assistants to Dr. Blast note him hammering kill switch frantically for up to 16 seconds after SCP-076-2 was pacified. Testing suspended. After retrieval, when questioned, SCP-076-2 remarked that SCP-316 made him feel extremely bored. What else was I supposed to do? Note: Jesus, I guess monsters don't react the same way to this thing. It's a good thing I opted to stay in Site 17 during the procedure. Dr. Blast. Note: Dr. Blast will be supervising all further SCP-316 testing remotely, as with the previous procedure. The third and fourth experiment are entirely expunged. Experiment 05. Exposure to SCP-056. Full effects of SCP-316 confirmed after 30 seconds of exposure. SCP-056 changes into a gray replica of one of the researchers in the testing room, shifting between several of them as tests are conducted. Personalities and effects of subject remain unchanged. Only the physical form appears to be affected. As researchers read out results for Dr. Blast, viewing remotely via camera, SCP-056 takes the form of Dr. Blast. Microphone in Dr. Blast's area records him shouting an expletive and falling over with his chair. Testing concluded. Note: nobody told me this thing could breach camera transmissions. I've probably been mentally breached as well. I can feel it already, damn it. My head's probably gonna explode. Redacted. This thing can destroy brains, right? Who the hell designed 56's containment procedures anyway? Damn it, I can't move. I can't fucking move. Wheel me down to the infirmary. Redacted. Hurry! Dr. Blast. Note: medical personnel found no physical or mental problems with Dr. Blast. The research assistant has requested a transfer. Experiments 6 and 7 are entirely expunged again. Experiment 8. Exposure to SCP-343. Data expunged. An data expunged. Riots in Italy, which data expunged. Effects of data expunged. In Site 17, Dr. Blast informed of results after regaining consciousness. Further testing attempts suspended. Note: as we informed you for the 6th time, Dr. Blast, under no conditions are we approving your emergency transfer requests. 05-redacted. Note: What the fuck is he doing with his safe classification? Tell O5 I'm not supervising tests on anything outside my security clearance again. Damn it. Dr. Blast. Experiment 09, exposure to SCP-662-1, Mr. Deeds. Full effects of SCP-316 confirmed after 28 seconds of exposure, to which the subject exhibits normal symptoms. Subject is asked to explain his origin and other previously unattainable information. Subject remains silent and unresponsive. Administering researcher asks subject to obtain a glass of lemonade, to which he responds that he is tired and would rather not. Researcher insists. Subject leaves in an expected manner and returns with a glass on a tray, which is empty save for 3 cubes of ice and a wedge of lemon. Upon questioning, subject responds that he was thirsty. When dismissed and summoned again with SCP-662, subject returns free of symptoms and immediately apologizes to researcher for his unprofessional conduct. When asked about the effects of exposure to SCP-316, subject replied that they were unpleasant. Testing concluded. Note: cheeky bastard. Dr. Blast. The rest are awaiting declassification. Well, you can make things black and white like a classic noir detective, but honestly, I'm more confused on whether the guy built it himself or someone else gave it to him. Because there's so much we could learn, and, well, based off of Addenda 316A, they just kind of executed him. There wasn't any interview logs or anything. Oh well. Thank you very much for coming, dear researchers. It's been an honor reading for you. Good luck out there, and I hope to see you all next time.